Hi, good morning. It's been a long time, hasn't it? We're sick of the words pandemic, virus, all that stuff. I'm glad to be back. I'm doing my own filming, just like Paula Dean and the Pioneer Woman. But welcome to Sherry's Farmhouse Kitchen. We're going to cook up something today, real short, sweet, and simple, because I'm doing the recording. And it is from my book. In my book, on page 40, is my Aunt Miriam's macaroni salad. Now, if you read the book, and they're available from me, a signed copy at that, at www.sherryphillipsmitchell.com, and just request a copy, and we do things by PayPal, so that works out great. And lots of recipes in here, old-fashioned recipes that I grew up with cooking at the green farmhouse. We called it green because the siding was a verde green with a dark green shutters and roof. Mom scraped off the siding to figure that out when we bought the farm, and she had it painted that way. There's many recipes in here, cornbread recipes in a cast iron skillet, bread pudding, rice pudding, daddy's sticky buns, to name just a few. But this one I wanted to include in the book, the macaroni salad, because when my aunt made it, and I was probably all of 10, and we were at her house, and she was cooking this up in her turquoise kitchen, I was excited because I've always loved macaroni salad. Now, her macaroni salad was not like any macaroni salad I had ever eaten, so when I looked at it as a 10-year-old, I was kind of like, not sure that's going to be great. I loved olives. That's really the thing that made me taste it, because I liked olives. She used a lot of different things. Macaroni, cottage cheese, French dressing, and a lot of crunchies. And I like all the crunchies. So I tasted it, I loved it, and I have never forgotten it, though I've never had it since. So when I was doing the book, Mom came up. I said, Mom, is there any chance that you might be able to duplicate that recipe? Because I checked with her kids, her 2 girls and her son, Greg, Linda, and Melanie, and they did not have the recipe. They said mostly Mom just concocted things out of her mind and what she had on hand. And that is the old-fashioned way of cooking, is it not? If you're my age or older, or maybe a little younger, that's how you did. You had things on hand, you whipped it up, you added a little salt, pepper, tasted it, sounded good, great. And your macaroni salad was born. So Mom went home, came back later that day, and said, I think I've got it. So we had talked at the table about what might be in it. And she gave me a taste, and I said, oh my God, that is it. And it transformed me right back to that day, getting ready to have a barbecue, to Miriam setting her bowl full of macaroni salad on the table. So let's get started. There's a small recipe in the book, serves about 4 cups. I've doubled that, so because I'm going to a party. It's my youngest baby's birthday. He's 37 years old. Whoop, time just flies right on by. So enjoy the moment, right? So I decided I would go ahead and do this today. So let's get into it, right? I doubled the recipe. I highly suggest you write it down. Sometimes you're following the recipe and you know you're doubling, but then you kind of forget and you can kind of ruin the recipe. So I have done some prep work here beforehand. And it's nice to do the prep work and have a little music playing and be quietly in your kitchen chopping, which there was a good little bit of chopping. So here's what I did. Last night, actually, I made the macaroni ahead of time, and I put it in the refrigerator to cool. Once you make your macaroni, you want to be sure that you spray it off with cool water. It stops the cooking. And you don't want to let your macaroni get to where it's just mushy and there's no form to it, okay? How do you do that? You take a few of these out at a time, and you say, okay, it's still just a little chewy, but it's not so mushy that they've lost their shape. We tend to want to overcook things, okay? So here we go. I did double the recipe, so I used 2 cups of cooked macaroni in a big pan of boiling water, some salt, And I wound up with this big old colander full. I have no idea how much that really is, but we're going to put that into my big crock. Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. And I'll show it to you. I know that since I'm doing my own filming, you might not be able to see down in that crock. Okay, move that over to my side. I'll bring this up here. Okay, and I rinsed that a little bit with water this morning because some of them were sticking together. Okay, so next, I wrote this all down. I needed 4 small stalks of celery. And you go, well, how much is that going to be? Well, you know, a big old stalk is like this, and 4 small stalks are smaller. So I created that already this morning. And here's what I got. Chop, chop, right? So I'm just going to put that all in here. And it looks like it's about a cup of celery. Okay. Now you could, and I might just do that. I think I will do this. You don't have to do this. But you know, when you're going to a party, presentation is everything as to whether anybody's going to eat it. So I'm just going to hold back just a few of these celeries to sprinkle on the top. Okay, so I'm going to put my 1 cup of celery stalks all chopped up, chop, chop, right? And then I have, Mom made this recipe and she said 1/3 of a small green pepper. Now, this was the backside of the red pepper, because we've got red pepper in here, sweet red pepper, not hot, but you could do that. You could add a little bit of that, especially if you like hot things, and you can add a little bit of red pepper seasoning. This was a ginormous one, so I just took half of it. Again, we do it by visualization. So Mom said 1/3 of a cup. I went ahead and did 1 small green pepper, and I did the whole thing instead of 1/3. Okay, so that was this much. I'm going to set just a few of these aside. Okay, put that all in there. Yes, I wash my hands. Every time you touch something, you think about that, right? Like, oh my gosh, did I wash it? Did I rinse it off? I rinsed all my vegetables. Yes, I did. Every single one. All right, so then we're going to do red pepper, all chopped up. Okay. Oh, by the way, since my last filming, I had gotten a nice little set of these cute little glass bowls so that you could see what I have here on the table with little lids. And then the pandemic hit. And my school kids couldn't come from Ripley Union Lewis High School, and they've graduated. I'll miss them. Elliot, good luck. The other girls that were here and the other guy, best wishes to you. As you move forward in life, right? Life gets away from us real fast. Okay, so we're going to do, now this is an interesting thing. Orange French dressing. Mom had Marzetti that day, so that's what I put into the recipe. But this was all I could find at IGA at Georgetown. And it says that I'll need a cup of this. 1 cup of the orange dressing. I'm going to guess this is going to be probably almost all the bottle. But let's go after it here, right? Okay. And it was almost the whole bottle. So we'll put that in there. Now trust me, you might be going, oh, I don't like that. Trust me, you won't know it. It is delicious. Okay. I hope you can see that already. It's looking beautiful. All right, so we got the Marzetti in there. 1/4 to a half of a small onion. Now, I have that already done up, okay? Trust me, that's not blood. I didn't chop up my finger. That's just some of the red pepper that I was doing on the same cutting board. Word to the wise, do your onions last, because it might make you cry like it did on that one episode. I think it was the deviled eggs I was doing. And oh my gosh, we had to stop filming because I was just getting so teary. So this is then 1/2 cup of onions. Now, if your family doesn't like onions, boop, leave it out. Don't even put it in there. If your family doesn't like the red bell peppers, don't put them in there. It's okay. You want them to eat it, right? So there's our onions. What's next? 1 cup of green olives sliced. Okay? that took a little time. And you know, this is the cream cheese or cottage cheese, the dressing, one little small jar. It took almost all of those things, so that's perfect. If I was going to make this often, I would probably adjust the recipe so I used one whole jar, one whole can of the cottage cheese and one whole thing of the dressing if I could. And maybe I won't. So I'll go ahead and put that in there. Just going to hold back a few for the top. Okay. And then it says 1.5 cups of small curd cottage cheese. As you know, this is the cup, so I just went ahead and filled this little thing right up to the top so I didn't have to dirty another dish, you know, because I'm going to have to load that dishwasher here in a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and put this in here. And all we're doing is getting it all in here so that we can stir it all up. Okay. You like cottage cheese, right? I love cottage cheese. All right, so here we are. This is what we're looking at. Yep. All right, so we're going to stir that all up. I'm going to use my spatula just because. I'll try to tip this for you so you can watch. Okay. Oh, it's starting to remind me when I look at it. I just start thinking of my Aunt Miriam. My Aunt Miriam was my dad's baby sister. There were 4 children. I don't know how my grandmother did it, but she spaced every single one of them out 18 months apart. And she had boy, girl, boy, girl. And, okay, my mom's here because we're getting ready to go to the party. So, anyway, my Aunt Miriam always made me feel very special, so I wanted to include her recipe in this. All right. Okay, there we go. I think that's mixed up good. Okay, and then you'll want to chill this. You want to put it right into your refrigerator, so clear a space ahead of time, right? And then again, I'm just going to sprinkle a few of these on top. If you like bacon bits, you might want to do bacon bits. Okay. Then I'm just going to place a few of these on top. Just for festivity. Let people know there's olives in there in case they aren't fond of olives. Again, if they aren't, what do? You leave them out. Although that's why I love this recipe. All right, so there's my Aunt Miriam's macaroni salad. We're going to enjoy that. It's Flag Day, and it's my youngest son's birthday. 37 years flew by. And I was all of 10 when this was one of my favorite dishes. We'll see you later. Hope you enjoy. Bon appetit.